Shout out to G-Man Boxing.
Alright, people. So we are due an announcement on Anthony Joshua versus Oleksandr Usyk. The fight being just officially signed and sealed. There you go. How you doing? It's done. I would say in the next day or so. Maybe even over the weekend. Who knows? But I like this fight, as many of you will know. I enjoyed it the first time. I think this second fight is going to be even more intriguing. I really do. And I'm going to go and give this the full treatment. So we're going to do previews of it, documentary of it, next month. And obviously maybe actually August, but in around then. And I'm going to go through keys I think both guys can use to beat each other. So in this video, and we're obviously going to do one for AJ as well, that's going to come up over the weekend, we're going to go over 3 reasons why Oleksandr Usyk beats Anthony Joshua. I have a little bit of footage here, which I'm going to show. I'm going to talk through the steps. There's also another caveat I want to leave at the end, but this I don't necessarily think is well, you could say it's a reason, definitely could, but I think it's just more a little, just a thing I want to add. So, when I talked about Oleksandr Usyk against Anthony Joshua, you only have to look at the first fight to see how Oleksandr Usyk beats Anthony Joshua. He thoroughly outboxed him. He outboxed Anthony Joshua. There's no ifs or buts. I don't see anyone defending the fight and saying, or anyone defending Anthony Joshua and saying that he won it, if technically, if you count it, none of that. Not like the Pacquiao-Floyd thing where people were trying to make out Pacquiao won the fight, which clearly didn't. No one's trying to do that. It was a clear win for Oleksandr Usyk. And it was a comfortable enough win. Now, some people are going to say, and they're right to say this as well, that AJ has changed things up. So it's going to be different. And I do think AJ will change things up. However, there were things in the Oleksandr Usyk AJ first fight. Regardless whether AJ changes it up, Usyk is always going to have these in his arsenal. And people are going to say, well, what AJ is going to do is he's going to come in and he's going to try and really put it on Oleksandr Usyk and really grab him. But there's things that you saw AJ implement that in the first fight. And we'll talk about it, and I'll slow it down in a few of these clips, and you'll see how Usyk was able to read that as well. Usyk's ring IQ is tremendous. And we have to remember that Usyk's ring IQ is tremendous. It's one of the key reasons why I think he'll beat AJ in this rematch, which is what I'm going to be using in this video. But before we do anything about this, we're going to start with the first point. And the first point is something that was prevalent from the first round of the fight. And it's Usyk's left hand. Usyk was able to establish that left hand. He was able to land the left hand to head and body from early on. He doesn't move by the waist. He backs up in straight lines. And look at a few clips of Usyk landing the left hand. Have a look there on screen. First round, boom. Into the first 2 minutes, left hand lands. First round again. AJ trying to keep on the outside. Usyk looking. AJ backs up, boom. Look at this in slow motion. AJ trying to feint, but Usyk at the same time using his feints. AJ buying on it, chucks a jab out. AJ is looking, decides, I'm just going to back up because Usyk is trying to launch an attack. I back up in a straight line, left hand lands on my head. So that's the first clip there. In that first round, Usyk instantly able to establish the left hand. He was also throwing that left hand very well to Anthony Joshua's body. And for the entire fight, AJ wasn't able to adjust. Now, AJ's stiffness and the fact he fights very upright, it's never going to go away. And people complained that AJ has taken weight off over the last few years and that he needs weight on to improve. Well, I see that as being a catch-22 because if he adds more weight on, he's never going to be the most fluid heavyweight regardless, but he's going to be even stiffer. We've seen that when he was in the 250s against guys like Takam, how stiff he was. He's not as bad now, but he's still bad in terms of being very upright and being very stiff. If he's heavier, it's going to be even worse. And yeah, you could say he'd be stronger, but Usyk was able to find him with that left hand from early on. Have another look here. This is in the third round when he buzzes AJ. And he does buzz AJ with that hand, with that left hand. And AJ is looking to hold. AJ instantly trying to hold. So Usyk with the left hand is so accurate, There's a lot more power in that left hand than you actually think. You know, some people would say Usyk's not the biggest puncher. Well, he had AJ rocked a couple of times in this fight. You know, he buzzed AJ with that left hand. He's accurate with that left hand. His timing, the timing for that left hand is tremendous. You see, you'll often see with fighters, when they have a particular shot that they're looking to establish, more often than not, you'll see, especially early in a fight. We'll bring this back up on screen again. Have a look on screen again. First round, first 2 minutes, that left hand is finding a home. Look there, left hand finding a home. Again, the end of the first round, Usyk looking for the left hand, looking to get in. Wait, 1-2, boom. Slow it down again. There you go. Looking for a spot. Most fighters are not that accurate early on with the left hand. They need to find range. He found range immediately. And look at this. AJ, again, I know I've shown it before, but look at it. AJ looking to back up, straight line, boom, left hand lands. Now, Usyk's able to do that immediately, which also goes in to the next point about Usyk, why I feel he beats Anthony Joshua. AJ can come in heavier if he wants. He can try and employ a strategy of brute force, earmuffs on, rough Usyk up. But at the end of the day, Oleksandr Usyk has some of the best feints. You'll see he is always feinting in there. That's part of his game. Now, it's common, we see that in boxing. But with Usyk, he's doing it consistently over the course of 12 rounds. He's moving and he's feinting. Now, someone like Anthony Joshua, from early on, was biting on them feints. You would expect that early on in the fight, but it was consistent the whole way through. Now, for Anthony Joshua, who's a fighter I've always believed tends to overthink a fight, overthink when he's in there, especially when he kind of... In that fight, in the first fight, he was caught in between styles. He didn't know what he wanted to do. You throw Usyk moving and feinting constantly for those 12 rounds. AJ mentally, I'm not saying losing combat, mentally, that's got to take it out of you. That's one of the reasons why Lomachenko was so effective, is that mentally between the feints, you know, in a prediction video I did, or it might have been just before I done a prediction video for the first fight, I was saying death by 1,000 feints. People were laughing at that, and I was saying, how? That's what Usyk will do. And that's what he did. And if you look, just look at the way he's probing with the right hand. I'll pop that first clip on there again, or with the right hand. He's moving, he's dipping, he's looking, he's moving his hand up, down, feinting, everything. You know? So when he's throwing that left hand off, look at the position. He's dipping, he's letting the jab hand out, he's just chucking it out, he's waiting for you to bite, which is actually something very reminiscent to what Vladimir Klitschko used to do. And again, between the feints and the throw of the left hand, lands on AJ. What Klitschko used to do, and he did it from the opposite stance, from the orthodox stance, was something similar to what Usyk was doing there. Pawing with the jab, leaving it out a little bit that his opponent would bite, and then he can come down straight. You saw him do that. Actually, you saw him do that in the AJ fight. It was one of the reasons why he was able to drop him. But AJ, I feel, bites on the feints a little bit too much. In fact, he bite on all of them. And mentally, I think that's one of the ways Usyk will be able to drain Anthony Joshua, make him overthink things, and make him not have as much confidence in there when he's looking to get his shots off. And also, if AJ's coming in heavier, the additional fatigue it's going to take on him, the lactic acid to carry excess muscle, which I believe he probably will do in this fight, is another thing we need to be aware of. It's another step with AJ that we need to be aware of, and it's another thing about Usyk that I think he's going to be able to exploit. Now, the third point, and the final reason why, is people have been saying that AJ is going to come in heavier. He's going to come in and look to just, and he's kind of said it himself, he's going to come in beast mode, attack mode, looking to put it on Oleksandr Usyk. Right? And people have said he needs to fight a bit more dirty, grab the head and look to throw the uppercut. Well, round 9, which was a good round for Oleksandr Usyk in the first fight, AJ tried something similar. And I want you to look on screen here. Alright? This is in the 9th round. AJ holding the head of Oleksandr Usyk, looking to launch uppercuts. But look what AJ is doing. Look what Usyk is doing. Look at the way his hands are positioned. Right? I'm going to show you another clip. This is in the 9th round as well, right? Usyk looking to get in. Look what AJ's doing. Holding Usyk by the back of the head and looking to throw uppercuts. But look, the minute that hand hits Usyk's head, or is wrapped around Usyk's head. Look at the position of his hands. Look at the way he moves his arms. I'm going to actually replay this clip now in 2 secs, right? I'm going to replay this clip of the slow-mo clip as well. Hands go round, our arm goes around the back of Usyk's head. Look at his arms. Look at the positioning of his arms. Knows instantly to look for that uppercut and to block and to hold. Knows instantly. His savviness in there, his ring IQ is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. He knows what he's doing in there. Here's another example in round 9 again. AJ looking to throw uppercuts, hold Usyk by the back of the head. He was getting warned. And you got to imagine that there's only so long he'll be able to get away with that and actually do it in the rematch before a referee starts giving him warnings. And maybe Usyk has landed some body shots as well in his own time and is starting to tire AJ out. So there are 3 reasons why. And again, that just shows that Usyk knows what's going on at all times in the ring. The minute AJ, you see it in those clips I showed you, the arm goes around the head. Usyk knows he's going to launch uppercuts, so he's moving his arms instantly in a position where he's blocking that instantly from AJ. And then he's wrapping AJ up and tying AJ up as well, and they're getting into a clinch. So he knows what AJ's trying to do. He knows AJ's trying to make it rough in there. He knows what to do in that situation. It's almost like he feels like, boom, right. It's almost like it's been drilled into him. He just knows. His ring IQ is tremendous. He knows where he is inside the ring at all times. Usyk is not one of these fighters who, even Vladimir Klitschko, it happened to him, where he would lose himself in the ring, where he'd be throwing a shot, he'd miss, and he kind of wondered. He did it against Fury. He's like, where am I in the ring? And he's getting hit. Usyk is just on it. He knows what he's doing. He knows what to move. He knows the angles. He knows so many different types of styles because he's had such an extensive amateur career. He fought at middleweight against Sean Porter when he was, 15 years old, up to fighting Joe Joyce super heavyweight in 2013. This guy knows what he's doing in the ring. His ring IQ is tremendous. And this is just an extra caveat I want to throw in about Oleksandr Usyk. As good as that performance was against Anthony Joshua, how do we know that was Usyk at 100%? How do we not know that was Usyk at 70%? How do we not know he was holding back a bit, not wanting to take any risks? Look on screen, 12th round, when Usyk puts it on AJ in the last 20 seconds. Boom, boom. AJ's tired and fatigued at this stage, but Usyk puts it on him. He opens up, he lets the shots go, and look at that. He could have done that earlier. I'm telling you now, he could have done that earlier. And I think in this fight, if he gets AJ in a situation like that, where AJ is fatigued, best believe he's opening up. He might feel he needs to do it. He might be looking at AJ's new DAZN deal and thinking, you know what, I ain't taking no chances. They want this guy to be their new cash cow. Well, he's already a cash cow. They want this guy to be the new poster boy for DAZN. I ain't having that. I ain't having anyone take this away from me. I'm going for it. He's fatigued, he's tired. I'm not going to the judges. I'm taking him out this time. How do we know that we don't have an Oleksandr Usyk in the first fight who was maybe fighting, not within himself, but knew he had more gears to go through? So they're my reasons why Usyk beats AJ. Now, as I did with the Tyson Fury Dillian Whyte one, I will obviously do one on Anthony Joshua. That will come out probably Saturday. Probably not tomorrow, probably Saturday. But we will get that out nonetheless. And I'll give my 2 cents on why I think AJ, and 3 reasons why AJ can beat Oleksandr Usyk. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I hope you like this. I like doing these, and I hope you guys enjoy them too. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll talk to you people. Peace.